E1 or S1, which one should you be pulling on when you're going for Firefly, right? Or should you just say screw it all together and go for E1 Ruan Mei, right? That's what we're going to be talking about in today's video, guys. As you guys might have known, they released all of the information on Firefly, they released all of the information on her LIGHTCONE, and maybe they didn't release the information on her E1, but we'll allude to what it might be able to do in relation when we're talking about Miss Ruan Mei as well, because I think this is going to be a very big decision, considering Ruan Mei is the other character on the banner. You might already have her, or you might not have her at all. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. What's the smartest choice? Because there's really three options here. Ruan Mei, Firefly, or Firefly's LIGHTCONE. I think Ruan Mei can work without her LIGHTCONE. That will be for a future video when I talk about a full build for Ruan Mei. That will be up before the release of Ruan Mei though, so subscribe if you haven't already for that. Now gamers, let's go ahead now and talk about kind of what Firefly is going to be doing, right? I'm just going to briefly go over it because I'm sure you've heard this a million times already. I really just want to go over the traits, right? Because I think this will tell us what the kit's gonna actually do. So guys, firstly, the first trace, basically what it does is if they don't have a fire weakness, the enemy doesn't have a fire weakness, and you hit them, they'll be taking toughness damage regardless of that fact, which is gonna be really good, especially for super break damage, considering that she, I think, does, yeah, it does tells it here. She does super break damage, so this is gonna be really big for that as well. If everyone's shield is broken, being able to do extra toughness damage to those enemies that are already weakness broken, even if it's at a reduced rate, you are getting some more super break damage added on to what she can actually do. Secondly here, guys, we're getting a trace that's going to be converting break effect and toughness break, or toughness reducing attacks, into super break damage, which will add with what your Harmony MC is going to be doing as well. So she's going to be doing super massive super break damage overall. And then finally, guys, this one's just a quality of life thing, right? The more attack you give Sam, the more break effect that Sam is going to have, which incentivizes you more so to build attack into the character because it's giving you free stats. So that's going to be a telltale sign of how to actually build them. If you guys want to know how to build them, I already posted a video a couple days ago talking about everything that you need to build Firefly before she actually comes to the game. So guys, that's really all that this does. I really want to hop off this now and talk about what the LIGHTCONE does, because this is also new as well. So what this LIGHTCONE does is, first of all, it's going to be increasing your break effect, which is going to be super huge, considering this is a break-oriented character. You're going to be wanting to break the enemies. This plays into super break. This just plays into basically their whole damage overall, right? So this right here alone is really, really huge. Not to say that's the only option, because you could use the Misa LIGHTCONE, which does give you break effect as well. But where this gets really intense at is actually the secondary effect, because whenever you're dealing break damage to the enemy, you inflict routed on the enemy. I don't know if this is necessarily a debuff or whatnot. Probably it is. Anyways, what this is going to be doing is increasing the break damage that the enemy is taking by an extra 24%. So that means super break damage is going to be increased by an extra 24%, which is absolutely a huge multiplier to have. On top of that, it's going to be lowering that speed by 20% as well, which makes the enemy slower. On top of, if you're already running a Ruan Mei on the team, if you're running Harmony, and if you're running her best team, the enemy is going to be delayed out the ass. We already know Ruan Mei basically doubles your delay. Harmony MC also increases that delay. There are just so many things that are going to be increasing that delay. This is going to be super huge as well. Now, the reason I wanted to bring all this up and talk about it is because, which one should you pick? Which one is better? E1 or S1? Now, we actually can't talk about what the E1 for Sam does because it hasn't been released in the game yet. So what we're going to do is actually hop into the game now, hop on Miss Ruan Mei, see what her E1 is, and then talk about it in terms of what could be better, her E1 or Sam's potential E1, if you guys get what I mean. That was very cool, wasn't it? Now, let's go ahead and talk about what Miss Ruan Mei's E1 does, because she is going to be ran on the same banner as her. Now, Miss Ruan Mei's E1 is literally going to allow all of your allies to ignore 20% defense. That is going to be absolutely massive, because first of all, it applies to the whole team. Maybe someone else's doesn't apply to the whole team. And it's also going to be procced on ult, which you can have 100% uptime for. That's absolutely massive. 20% defense ignore? Ayo, I like the sound of that. So let's put this into perspective then, right? So since we can't talk about what it actually does, let's just assume what the other one's gonna do, right? So if a buffer is able to apply a 20% defense shred to the whole team, you could assume that the DPS character is applying a buff to themselves, right? And obviously, if the DPS character is buffing themselves, it's going to be able to play with their kit, right? And we already know what the new relic set does. It does defense shred. It is absolutely built for Miss Sam, right? So with that being built for Sam, with it having defense shred in the kit, with one of her best teammates being Ruan Mei, I think that we could assume that maybe S1, or my bad, E1 would be having a defense shred in the kit. For it to be viable, it would either A, have to be more effective than what Ruan Mei can provide, because Ruan Mei provides a 20% buff to the whole team. Never mind, guys, I'm trolling. Braxophone posted his early access video, so I can talk about it. Guys, what she's going to be doing as far as her E1 goes, or yeah, E1 goes, is literally ignoring 15% of the enemy's defense and making her more SP efficient. Now, what is better, right? Because she's able to provide a 15% defense shred. Realistically, she's probably going to be the only one dealing damage to an enemy on the field. So yes, while it is a 5% less increase as far as defense goes, defense down anyways goes, it actually is going to make a pretty sizable difference. Looking at this graph right here, this shows you defense shred percentages and what the multiplicative values are. The more value you have in defense shred, you actually get multiplicative returns, right? So if we look at the increase here, right? If we look at the total damage increase, right? We're going from 5% to 11%, 11% to 18%, 18% to 26%. You can see on the right-hand side here how the damage is actually being multiplied. This is an increase, right? So if we take a look at 5%, you're actually getting more multiplicative damage out from having 5% more defense shred. Now, the enhanced skill point, or I guess not using a skill point, is going to be beneficial in terms of SP efficiency. But if you're using her on the correct team already, which is a full break team, I really don't think you're going to be running into SP issues that, well, I take that back. You probably might run into SP issues because she is so fast in that enhanced state. She's going to be boom, 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 hitting attack after attack after attack. So this could actually be pretty beneficial for her. But I would like to make the argument that I don't think that that is the best thing to do, right? First of all, if you get Firefly and you don't have Ruan Mei, I would 100% recommend going for Ruan Mei. Because literally, Harmony MC is given to you for free already, right? I think Gallagher's on the banner too, right? I think Gallagher is on the banner. Okay, yeah, I wasn't tripping. Gallagher is on the banner as well. So while you're pulling for Firefly, or Ruan Mei for that matter, you're going to be able to get Gallagher, which is probably her best in-slot sustained character because he helps with break effect as well. Literally, by pulling on this banner, you are going to be golden, right? So why not, when getting Firefly, if you don't have Ruan Mei, just swap over and get Ruan Mei, because first of all, it's going to increase Firefly's damage potential by so much, and on top of that, you're able to get Gallagher as well, which is technically best in slot sustain, Zhui Yi and Misa as well. I think Misa is going to get the glow up he deserves. I don't think really anyone's tested him, not that there's really been any like ice weak enemies. I am going to be showing you a video on that. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because I would like to show a video on that. But the thing is here, right? The good thing with Ruan Mei's E1, why I recommend E1 Ruan Mei over Firefly, right? While it does give SP efficiency, what it doesn't give is you can't really run Firefly on every single team. Whereas with Ruan Mei, you could quite literally run her on every single team and her be absolutely amazing, right? And that 20% defense shred applies to the whole team. So that means any team you put her on, you're going to be getting extra defense shred out. So it just makes more sense to me if you already have, let's say, you already have your Ruan Mei. You just got your Firefly. Why even go for her LIGHTCONE? Why even go for her E1 when you can just go for Ruan Mei's E1 that's going to give you more universal value? I think that the E1 for Firefly is good, don't get me wrong. I do think that the defense shred that Ruan Mei provides is just so much better. That's my opinion on that, right? I think that Ruan Mei is just going to be a more universal unit to use, or as far as like other teams, right? Not to say that Firefly's bad or anything, because I think she's really golden, I think she's really goated, I think she's really good, but I would rather have a more universal character on my account, especially for free-to-play players. You want those universal units that you can slot in. Say you run into something you're not going to be using her on, right? Then you just slot in Ruan Mei there, and it works perfectly fine as well. Say we get an enemy that you can't break the shield on. Well, you know what? At least you can throw Ruan Mei in the team. You get a massive damage bonus as well as getting a defense shred as well. She just works in so many solutions. Now, if we take a look at like the LIGHTCONE that maybe Firefly could run here, I already mentioned it in my other video the other day, but I mean, there are other options you can use. I'm not going to sit here and say that she has the best options, because I think this LIGHTCONE right here will work or come in clutch. You can potentially get this by summoning. It's only a gacha LIGHTCONE, because this will increase the break effect of Miss Firefly, on top of that giving you some crit rate as well, which is okay, right? There's also a free-to-play option. option on the fall of the Aeon is going to give her extra attack. Giving her attack means you're giving her more break effect. So this right here could be really good for Firefly as well. And then finally, I guess you could use Flames of Fire as well. It's okay, it works on it, right? But there are other options you can run in terms of light cones on Firefly. And also the same can be said with Miss Ruan Mei as well. You can run meshing cogs on Ruan Mei and she'll be fine. That's actually how I run my Ruan Mei right now. I'll actually go ahead and show you my Ruan Mei on my account right now because I run meshing cogs on her. You know, I do have, you know, this light cone right here. It's not an S5, of course, but I do have this light cone. I'm running in a Harmony MC just because she needs the extra break effect right now. And where is my Ruan Mei at? Holy shit, guys. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I'm using a level 60 meshing cogs, actually. I'm not even using my full out ascended one because where's that one at? I don't even know who that one's on right now. It's on someone else. Oh, it's not even equipped to anyone else. Let's just go ahead and equip that real quick. Anyways, yeah, I'm using that, and you know, her stats are still 153, which with the sets that I'm running on her, which is this set right here, she's going to be able to get that threshold of 180 that she needs. So yeah, I would say that there are other light cones to run. You don't necessarily need to pull the light cone, I would say. I think the 20% defense shred is going to be better for your account than a 15% defense shred only to Firefly. Anyways, gamers, that's going to be my piece on the whole situation here, the whole E1 S1 versus Ruan Mei S1 debate, or E1 debate. So that's going to do it for today's video, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I would love to hear what you guys think on this. What are you pulling for? Are you pulling for Firefly's E1 S1? Are you pulling for Ruan Mei E1, or her S1 as well? Let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this whole thing. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one later. Bye-bye.